Okay. Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today on time too. Thank you so much. Today we will talk about Queensland Government School, and we have Miss Amy Huang here, the regional manager from EQI recruitment, and she will talk about the recruitment process and then the program and the homestay and all the timeline also. So without further ado, please, Miss Amy. Sorry, Miss Amy, you are still on mute.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Margaretha. Thank you for having me today. Thank you for Yes Education to invite me for this agent training. So today I will just provide those information about our main program, International Student Program to you. And first for the start, I'll start with where is the Queensland and what we are and what is our Department of Education International, what we did here, and also introduce our main program from primary to high school. And after that one, I'll start to introduce some about our application process and our homestay, how to fill out those application. And after that one, when you get the enrollment agreement from us, which part you need to focus on. So let's get the training started. So in the end, we will have a Q&A. If you have any question, you can leave the question to the chat box or just tell Margarita and we can solve that issue with you after. So that's start for today's section. So, okay. So as you can see on the map, this is Queensland, which is in the right up corner of whole Australia. So you can see the geography location. So Queensland is the second large state in Australia, and we have about population is about 5 million people here. And after COVID and during COVID, we have a lot of people move from New South Wales or Victoria to Queensland. So the population is increasing, and also our Queensland state is also very popular for international students. So population is still increasing slowly. And we, as you can see on the slide, we have about 10 university here. You can see the university logo here. So it's good for students pathway after they finish high school. And the environment and also the weather is very suitable for Asian students, especially during this. We have about 300 days as a summertime. So students came here from Asian countries more like get used to the weather and also the environment. And we have a big Asian community in south of the Brisbane area. So here in Queensland, Queensland's education, as you can see, our state schools. In Queensland here, every state in Australia, we have our own Department of Education. So we, EQI, is also under Department of Education, Queensland here. So as you can see, we have 7 regions in Queensland. So Brisbane is in the right bottom corner. That's our head office there. And we have all around Queensland, we have around 1,262 plus schools, including primary school and high schools. But in those 1,262 schools, we only have 97 schools can accept international students. So if you a student would like to come to Queensland to study, you will only can have those 97 schools to choose from. So we can see in the next slide. And in the local here in Queensland, about 70% the local student actually choose our public school to study. And those 30% of the student actually they have some religion's choice like Christian or Catholic, or boys' school and girls' school they can choose from. But for the local family, they still like 70%, they still prefer our Queensland government school to study. And at the moment, we have about 58,000 teachers in Queensland, whole Queensland. And nowadays, the government would like to recruit more talent or professional teachers to join it's a teaching position. So the teachers are increasing as well. And we have about 560,000 students in Queensland to study. And as you know, we also have Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island students study here as well. And we have overseas students every year. Per year, it's around 3,400. And for term 3 coming July, we have about 1,200 new students will start EQI schools. Okay, so this is the Queensland map, and with our 97 schools which can accept international students. So when you're consulting, you can find this list on our website. So I'll provide this list to you later as well. So in our Queensland education system, as you can see, we start from primary school. So primary school, we have prep to year 6. That's in the primary school program. So that will be total 7 years. And after primary school, you can go to high school. So high school, including junior high from year 7 to year 10, senior high from year 11 to year 12. But in high school program, we also have 2 special high achiever program. One is IB, which I think you are very familiar with that. You heard that a lot. International Baccalaureate program, and also our Queensland Academy. So this one I will introduce one by one later in our program. And if your student is going to join our program from high school started, if your student doesn't have any English or IELTS or like TOEFL IBT result, you can choose from our high school preparation course. So after you finish that course, then you reach that English level, then you can join the mainstream high school program. And year 7 to year 10 is mandatory to the student to finish for the high school. So year 11 and 12, they can choose if they want to go to university or go to choose another is TEF or vocational education and training program. So year 11 and 12, you can have those choices. Or you can finish year 10, then you decide you want to go to work first, then after that one. So you can choose to employment as well. So actually studying in Australia and studying in Queensland, you have a lot of diversity choice for you, for the student to choose from. So it's not limited to you only have one pathway to go to university only. So later on, we can see one by one. And this is our school calendar, which is January to December. So every year you can see right-hand side here, term 1, we have already passed. So normally we have 10 weeks study, 2 weeks break in between, and 10 weeks study, 2 weeks break, because this year we have 29 days in February. So in the end of the year, we have 11 weeks study for term 4, and then our Christmas holiday. So this is our calendar, and it will link to our cutoff date as well. So later on, we will see the cutoff date when you lodge the application to us, and you will need to be careful, be aware of the cutoff date. So Queensland Government School, we have about 3,000 international student per year, and international student to domestic student per school is about 5% to 95%. That will be depends on the Department of Education's rules. So they said the student cannot exceed those amount of the student in one school. So we will see all the students in the class will be very small. So every school, every year level will have different class number. So it's about 25 to 28 students per class. So in this Department of Education's rules set up, you can see prep to year 3, you cannot over 25 students in one class, and year 4 to year 6, it's about 28 students in the class as well. But year 7 to year 10, no more than 28. Year 11 to 12 is 25. That's the standard rules number there. But you can see the green part is actual class here, reality we have in the school. So it's all below the standard. So this telling us to tell the parents and the students, actually the international come here, you remember the previous slide is 5% to 95% of the students in one class. So if the actual class is about prep to year 3 is about 22 students, so 5% to 95%. So probably one class will only have 1 or 2 international students. So which telling the parents as well, the teacher will have more focus on each student, especially in Queensland here in Australia. Most of our class, we have one main teaching teacher and one teacher aide. So teacher is kind of our assistant teacher in the class as well. So that means we have 2 teachers in the class to focus those 22 students. So the parents will think, because in Asian country, for example, for myself, when I was studying in primary school, we have about 40 students in class. So it's only one teacher. So one teacher to 40 students is not really caring for each student. But here, one teacher is only caring for 1 to 10 or 1 to 8 students in class. So the parents will think the student will get more care from the teacher, and the teacher taking care of more students in the class. So for this situation, even for the high school, so for the high school for practical class like biology or chemistry, we even have 2 main teaching teacher in the class and 1 teacher teacher in the class. So that means there will be 3 teachers in class for those 22 or those 16 students. So that means one teacher need to take care of like 5 to 7 students in class only. So that's the reason why the parents would like to have those students, their kids, their children to have this kind of education. So this is a good selling point to the parents as well. So small class, the student will going to have more focus by the teacher. So this is our main program, international student program. So we have primary, high school preparation, high school depends on year 7 to year 10 is junior high, year 11 to 12 is senior high. And we also have our study abroad program, which is our short-term program, and regional study abroad, just different region, and IB International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, and also our Queensland Academy International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. So this one I will introduce one by one. So for our entry requirement, this is the English. So like I mentioned, if you don't have the English to enter our high school, that's totally fine. You can choose from our high school preparation. But this is the English level you need to reach. We use IELTS as a standard here. So year 7, you need to reach IELTS 4 overall scores. So you can see for the ISLPR is more for New Zealand students. ACAN is for our Japan students. AES is for the test. Is more like the student would like to join the private sector. They can take that test as well. And TOEFL IBT. So except for the English, and we also have the academic requirement. So we also need to provide for 2 years of the school report. So you need to pass all core units. And we also have the chart to see, and especially in your school report, you need to be all English translated and certified. And also you can see the core unit, for example, is like English and math. You have to pass all the core unit then to pass our entry requirement to further process. So this is our primary school or program. So primary school definitely will need to be careful is the student will need to be age 6 to apply for this program and to start this program, and also to start to process to apply for student visa. We have one case is the student is 5 years old, 8 months. They get our enrollment and get our COE to apply for the course. When they launch the visa, although the course start after turn 6, but the agent launched the visa application before 6. So they get our COE. The student is only 5 years old, 8 months, launch the visa, then get rejected. Because the student, when they launch the visa, the student is under age 6. So that will need to be more focused or just be careful of that. But as Yes Education is very experienced, so they know that rule. So if you have any questions, just consult with them. So our primary school is from year 6 to year 11, and the minimum for apply for this program is 2 terms. So 2 terms will be 6 months. So if your student would like to try, or the parents want to try, say the student, if they can fit into our primary school, fit into our culture, fit into our country, they want to try the primary school, they can try this. So minimum will be 2 terms, which is 6 months. And for the primary school, if you want to package, for example, if the student is in year 5, start from year 5, you can choose year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can package with high school. That's totally fine. No problem at all. But if your student start the course is under year 4, then we can only give you 3 years of the enrollment, which is according to immigration's policy. So on their website, if the student, for the primary school enrollment, the maximum we can give is 3 years. So if the student start from years 4, so 4, 5, 6 is still under 3 years, then 7, 8 for high school, that's totally okay. So this is our primary school program. And high school preparation, which you might very familiar, is for the vet course, for the ELIT course. So our high school preparation, we have 3 high school is deliver high school preparation course. So minimum is 20 weeks in our high school preparation. So if you would like to package with EQI's high school preparation school, then that will be minimum 20 weeks. Then package the mainstream for high school. So here I know it's put on 10 weeks models, and our minimum is 20 weeks with us. But in the next slide, I will introduce for another option. So in our high school preparation school, we have in Dupley, Mitchelton, and White Hill College. We can deliver those high school preparation course. So each class will be 18 students maximum and 25 hours per week. So the student will get into the class on the first day, then they will have the test from the DOS, then they will know what kind of English level you have, then go to different level class. So it depends on the English level, they will know. So 10 weeks will be one level for the student. So that's why we put 20 weeks minimum for the student to start. If the student's English level is pretty high after those 10 weeks for one level, and they can reach for the English entry requirement to mainstream, we can just let them exit high school preparation and go to mainstream early. But after those 10 or 20 weeks of high school preparation, if they still didn't pass the English level to the main course, then we can extend another 10 weeks. But it will depend on the year level of the mainstream. So this one will be to be careful. And especially for year 11 students. So year 11 student is for our senior high school program. So year 11 student can only start from term 1. So if the student need to package high school preparation And from term 3, for example, for 20 weeks. So it's term 3, term 4, high school preparation, and term 1 for year 11. Then the student didn't pass those 20 weeks. That means the student cannot go to mainstream year 11. So that will redirect to the result is no offer. Then the student need to exit from our mainstream. Okay, so here, so except for our 3 high school preparation school, in Dupley, Mitchelton State High, and also White Hill State College, we also have our English pathway provider school, which is work with EQI. So we only take those school result and also the school report from this five language school. So if your student would like to start, because for our school can only start from each term, but for those 5 English pathway provider language school, they can start probably different intake day. So if your students would like to start in the halfway through, they can choose from our English pathway provider, which is our EPP schools. So if the student's mainstream is in Brisbane, so you can see the location here, you can choose like Browns, Charlton Brown, or Shafton, or UIL. They have Brisbane campus. If your student is going to start mainstream in Sunshine Coast, you can choose from UIL. That will be more easy for students to transit from different location or environment. And also they work very closely with our mainstream school as well. So like Shafton, they also have Gold Coast campus if the students mainstream is in Gold Coast area. So they can go there to get used to the environment in Gold Coast area as well. So this is our high school, which is a more market target for Indonesia office. So our high school program, we have junior high, which is year 7 to year 10, senior high is year 11 to year 12. So the age range is about 11 to 18 years old. So according to immigration, if you were going to begin the course for year 9, you cannot be age 17. So this is on immigration's website for the student visa application. So just be careful. Australia is also care about the age appropriate. So if the student, the age is too old to go into the class with different age student, so probably we will need to have compassionate reason from you or from the parents or from the student why the student's age appropriate to year 11 already, but you choose to year 9 or year 10. So junior high school and senior high school, you need to be more careful about the age. And for our high school program, also like year 11, like I just mentioned, you need to start from term 1 only. So for high school, we can start for 5 years enrollment. So if your student would like to package with high school preparation and start from year 7, so we can do high school preparation to 2 terms and 7, 8, 9 for the high school. So because high school preparation is half year, so we can give you another 4 years mainstream, so package with high school. But the total duration, the maximum, we can give you 4.5 or 5 years only. And the senior high school, year 11 and 12, so that's the different one because senior high school, we also have other 2 programs you can choose from. So if the student is high achiever, for example, you want to, sorry, I'll just jump to this one. If the student is high achiever, then they would like to go to IB program. So IB program is only for year 11 and 12. So you can put on the application together. For example, the student would like to 7, 8, 9, 10, then year 11 go to IB. So year 11 go to IB, either is the student is very interested in IB program. And for our IB program, I will say this, but we understand every kids have different talents. So just let the parents know. If the student is liking or like a lot logic thinking or critical thinking way, they like to write a lot of things about what they think about, they can choose, or they will be fitting to this program, because in the IB program, student will need to practice a lot about writing skills, put their thinking into writing. So we have a couple of students enrolled to our IB program, and after 1 or 2 terms, and just say, because the amount of the writing practice or writing assessment is too much, so they cannot take too much. So they cannot take in, so they decide to withdraw from IB. But this one need to be careful, because IB start from year 11. So our high school program, year 11 is the year level you need to choose. You want to start ATA program or ATA subject, or you want to go to TAFE or our vocational training program. You can choose from the school. But if you choose for IB, if you have already started and you want to transit to our normal high school to go to ATA subjects, sometimes the subject cannot be transit. So you will miss the ATA subject. So it will redirect to affect to your QCE, which is our Queensland Certificate Education, after you finish year 12. So it might affect this. So for the student to choose IB, need to be think more carefully for the parents to think about. If the student is already study IB in Indonesia, it's totally okay. So they can either start to continue IB program from term 1, or they can give us evidence that to show the student has already started IB in Indonesia, so they want to continue, so they have the transcript and academic result, then they can choose start from term 3, year 11. So this is an IB, because I know Asian parents and also Asian students will think IB is a challenge, but they can conquer, or they can overcome to achieve for IB. But IB is not for every single student. But this one is the high achiever student program. So if your students are very interested in, you can either just consult telling them about the writing part, because we have 3 students just come back to say want to change to our normal QCE program, which is our high school program. So another one for the high school is our Queensland Academy. So Queensland Academy is Queensland is the only state in Australia can accept international students to apply for academy schools. So other states, if they have the academy schools, they cannot let the international student to apply. So in Queensland, we have 3 Queensland Academy schools. So start from year 10, and year 10, 11, and 12 also use IB course, IB teaching way. So they have to start from year 10. So QA's application is a little bit different from normal application time. So on our website, there's a QA application processing time. So normally the student will start to apply for QA is around year 8 or early year 9. Then to launch the application. For example, they start to prepare. So for example, this year, February and March is the time we receive the cutoff day for QA year 10 for 2025. So the application processing time will be about 1 or 1.5 years before year 10. So that's why the processing time will be a little bit longer. So for QA's application, I'll just briefly introduce. So also fill out the application of EQI's application form, and you tick QA, you can only choose one. Although we have 3 schools, so you can only choose one to study. So it's not like, oh, I choose the first one and I didn't pass, I go to the second one. No, so you can only choose one. So normally the application process time is early of the year. So which, just like I mentioned, is like January, February, and March. You launch the application and process for next year, start for year 10. So the preparation time is maybe before this year. So last year, maybe from October or July, you start to prepare, gathering all the information about your academy, or you have any portfolio you want to prepare, then lodge the application to EQI in January. Then we start processing, cutoff days mid of February or early March, then start processing to QA, then QA endorse and finish the application for next year. So first of all, provide the application to EQI, provide those information or the supporting document you have, and student must have IELTS 5.5 or above. So student cannot just say, oh, I'm packaged with high school preparation, I'm still studying English. No, you have to provide the IELTS English certificate already. And with your application, and after we check everything is meet our entry requirement, then we pass this application to QA. So QA receive our application from us, from EQI, then they will process and to check if this student met their entry requirement as well. Although we do the first screening check, then QA will do the second one. So QA do the second one, pre-screening and everything all done. They will inform student or the agent like you, telling you can inform the parents and student. Go to QA's website. For that QA school's website, fill out QA's application form online. So QA's application is a big 1 or 2 steps. So go to their website, fill out the application online, and pay for the application fee. I remember this year still 250. So I don't know if they're going to increase in the future or not. So once you got the information from QA to say, yes, your student can fill out our application form, then you go to the school's website, fill out the application form, pay for application fee. Then QA will inform you and the student when is the test date. So either they will let you know, for example, if in Indonesia, they will let you know where is the test center and which day, what time. You will need to go to the test center, sit in there for a writing test. And also pass the writing test result, they will give you another is interview time. So the interview time either is a virtual, or if the student is already unsure, then they can check the date with school and ask you to sit in front of the dean or the deputy principal or the teacher and talk face to face or virtually. And they will see if the students meet their school's requirement, or this student can fit into their school. After the interview, if everything all pass, then QA will inform EQI. We issue the enrollment agreement to you. So issue the offer to you. Then you pass the offer to the student and parents to sign and pay for it. Then we issue COE. So this is different from normal EQI's process, but QS program is really popular for Asian students as well, because parents would like to provide the best education for the students. But just like I mentioned, QS year 11 and 12 is also use IB program teaching way. So student, once again, same as IB, if they would like to do a lot of critical thinking and make it as a writing, they can think about this program. Okay, so that's our high school program. And back to our one of our high school program is study abroad program. So study abroad program is our short-term high school program, shorter high school program, which you can also only enroll 1 term, 3 months. The maximum is 4 term, 1 year. So for example, I want to use my winter vacation or summer vacation 2-3 months. Remember, our 1 term is 10 weeks, so that's a 3 months. So probably will duplicate 1 or 2 weeks after you finish our course and go back to your home country. So this study abroad program, if the parents would like to let the student to try before they commence long-term program, they can do so. So study abroad program can only package our home state. So high school program, you can say, oh, I want to be a guardian, or my auntie or uncle as a guardian, they can do a homestay for the student. But for study abroad program, the student can only stay with our homestay. So study abroad program shortest one is 1 term, longest one is 4 terms. So only for high school program. So year 7 to year 11 and 12. But year 11, same thing. Would like to have from term 1. It's not that ideal for the student would like to enroll year 11 and 12 staff for our study program, because during that time they need to choose, they want to go to ATAR subjects, or they can choose to our vocational education and training program at school. So normally the student during that time, they start to think about, oh, maybe I'm going to, after high school, I'm going to university. So my target may be UQ, QT. So I know what my end goal is. So for the student would like to try, I would say earlier as possible. So you can see 7, 8, 9, 10. So for our primary school program, we don't request English requirement, but for our high school program, we do request English requirement. So like the one we just see for the IELTS. But for study abroad program, if you think the students English, like English result, and also we need to have certain evidence to show. For example, the school is using the English as a teaching method for 2 years. Then the student is no problem at all use English as a main language to learn from the school. Then it can be waived for the English. But if our study abroad program, the student is not using the English method to teach, and we will request maybe you still package with two terms of high school preparation, then start our high school program for 1 term of study abroad as well. So total will be about 3 terms. So this one need to be considered to the parents as well and the student. But if the student has already at the school using the English as a teaching method, then that's totally fine. You can provide evidence or the data from the school just telling us the school is using English as a teaching method way to students, so student doesn't have any difficulty to understand English. So then the student can go to mainstream directly. So that's our study abroad program. And regional is just different area. So the map we saw from the central or the far north Queensland. So those schools in those areas, we call it regional. So regional study abroad. So if the student choose regional study abroad school, the tuition fee is slightly cheaper than the main area here in Brisbane or Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast. So that's on our website as well. So you can see the fees is slightly different. Okay, so that's IB and QA would be mentioned. So as you can see that we have 2 links here. So one is our EQI school list, which is our 97 schools that you can choose from. And also we have our school profile handbook. So on the handbook, we have 1 by 1 schools, 1 slide, and you can have those information, how many students in that school already. So you can count 5% to 95%. So you will see how many is the international student can fit into this school. And also we do provide our capacity report like once a month or 3 weeks to Yes Education. So you can see which schools still have capacity to take international students. And if the student requests homestay, which schools still have homestay capacity for that? So we did send to our credit agent. So like Yes Education, they did receive that one. So if further you have any inquiry consultant, please just ask Yes Education as well. So so on the back of our school profile handbook, we have the appendix. So like I just mentioned for the ATA, so for year 11 and 12, so it's a good material and for your when you're doing the consultant with the students. First of all, I would say I will use, because I know most of our Asian parents will ask, which school is more high ranking? Which school have the best reputation, or which school student go to university more, or good university for the students to choose from. To be honest, to the student to come here to study in our school, I would say the high ranking is not the best choice for the student, because we provide diversity subjects. We have about 100 subjects to provide to students. Each student is unique, so they definitely will have their desired subject want to study. So in this chart, when you do the consultant with the parents or student, I will ask the student the first thing, which subject is your favorite? And then we come back to our appendix to find the subject, the corresponding schools, then to provide the school for the parents to choose from. So of course, the parents have some consideration for which location. So in Brisbane City or Gold Coast, maybe they have relatives in Gold Coast area or Sunshine Coast or Central Coast. If they do, they will consider for the location. That's totally fine. The second one, when you're going to suggest the school to the parents, I will ask one thing. Do you know what's the favorite subject for the student would like to study? Then to find the perfect school to the students. So like I just went to Hong Kong and Taiwan for the education event. One student came to me, just say, is a very little cute girl who study in year 9. She just said, oh, I want to study agriculture. So she have specific goal. Then I check the school profile handbook, because agriculture, you need space, or you need the place to do the practical course. So I check, we do have the school, but in Cairns. So then I tell them which school you can choose from. Then they start to consider which location. But another way is you choose the perfect school, you let your professional subject to shine, to grow, to develop more. You get more chance to be the top. So it's not always focused on high ranking, or just say the school reputation is the best, or I just want to go to the school maybe is the top. But is that school is really fit to your need? Not really. So when you're doing the consultant with the student, ask them this. If the student's English ability is high, or which subject they want to study, or did the area has any our high school preparation center nearby, or we can choose from our English pathway provider school. If not, so the scenario might be the student finish high school preparation in Brisbane area or city area, then change the location to their mainstream school. So that happened as well. So this one is a different case. You need to let the parents know. So that means the student need to change homestay as well. Change location, change homestay. And then if that school has excellent program to the student to choose from, if they have ballet academy or sports academy or golf excellent program. So I have one student is special professional player in Hong Kong. So he would like to keep continuing to have that program for them to go to during the high school study. So we then find from our appendix for the sports subjects, for the golf specialist, then find the school to introduce to the student and parents. So they can choose from those certain school. They know what's their goal. So we won't spend too much time because we narrow down those options and we know what subject, what school, which one, which program you want to go. Then we can find the perfect school for the students. Okay. So this is our year 7 and year 8 for elective subjects. So this is the thing you can introduce to the parents as well. So for our core subjects, English and math is definitely the core unit that students need to study. And for year 7, year 8, science and humanity is also the core subject they need to study here. So for one semester, for one term or for during the study period time, the student will choose about 6 to 8 subject to study, except those core uni 4 or HPE, the sport class for these subjects. So except this 4 to 5, then you still need to choose about 3 elective subject to study. So you can choose from there. So like I mentioned, we have about 100 subjects for the students to study. So before the student commence for the high school, the school will send out the orientation information pack and also give you a subject selection sheet. So the student can put in order which one is the first subject that they want to study at the school as well. So they can put like 99 subject they want to study. So the thing is, once they put on the selective subjects, then the school will see how many students choose these subjects. Then they will see how many class in that year level. So for example, year 7 for Japanese for this school, they only open one class. So one class, you remember the previous one is 25 to 28 students in that class only. So they will see how many students choose those Japanese class. Then the first 25 fit into the class. Then the other students outside of those 25 still choose Japanese as a first subject. Then they need to go to the second preference subjects. So for example, the first one is Japanese. I put on Japanese as first one language and Spanish is second one. So I didn't get into the first one, then I will be putting to the second one. So something like that. So this is year 7 and year 8, and this is in year 9. So year 9, you can see it's English or English extension. So for English course, sorry. So if in year 7 and year 9, if you pass the English level, then during year 9, you can choose from English extension. So this is the course you can choose from, and this is other elective subjects. And this is for year 10. So year 10 is also the important year for you to go to year 11 and 12 as well. So for this one, you need to choose what you would like to study in the future. So maybe student would like to go to accounting, so they can start to choose those kind of course then to study. But for the student, if they think they try after 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, if they want to change, they can go to our international student department to tell the international student coordinator or guidance officer, this subject probably not fit to me, so I would like to change. They can help you to see if the next subject you want to choose, if there's any space for you to change. So this is possible. And this is our vocational and training, which is our vet course at school. You can choose from as well from year 11 and 12. And this is our calendar. So like you see before, so normally our school time is from 9 to 3. So after 3 o'clock, so student can either just join the group discussion at school or they can go home. So this is the school time. And this is our form. So this is our cutoff day. So like I just mentioned, so be careful of the cutoff day. We did some changes now. So because the high demand of the application floating to our admin team, so now the cutoff day is very strict from the beginning to now. So if the student would like to apply for 2024 term 4, the cutoff day is before 21st of June 2024. So this need to be careful. And OSHC on our application form, they have a section. You can choose yes from our EQI purchase for you, or you can choose from your provider. So this is immigration. So, and homestay. So on our application days of homestay, they have 3 options. The first option is choose EQI's homestay. So EQI's homestay is all organized and also arranged by our schools. So once you stand through the application, choose option 1, we will pass the information to the school. So also check the capacity report if that school have homestay capacity. If that school doesn't have any homestay capacity, please don't choose that school because it won't match. We won't have any assessment passing through from the school. So they won't take this student. So if the student requests homestay, choose option 1 and just check the capacity. And also when you're consulting with the school, with your consultant, check if the school is having student capacity or homestay capacity. And option 2 is stay with the parents, which is the guardian. So if the parents would like to come as a guardian visa holder 590, then the student can choose option 2. For option 3, if they have relatives here, which you can check Immigration 157N form on the 3rd page left button, there's a certain relatives who can be the guardian for the students. So if not, those were relatives, just like family, friend, or neighbor who migrant to Australia, they can choose option 3. So option 1 and option 3, the parents will need to pay homestay fee, except for option 2, stay with the parents. So the option 3, the person who be the homestay must be over 25 years old, must be permanent residency or citizenship in Australia, in Queensland. And for option 2, if that's a brother and sister, they can be student's guardian, but must be 21 years old. So that's on the application form as well, and also immigration's website. So our 97 schools all have one international student department in their school. So if the student have any inquiry, they can go to the school student coordinator or guidance officer to check in anything about selection, the course, and homestay coordinator. If the student go to homestay, they have any issue, please go to see homestay coordinator. Talking about homestay, please make sure your parent, your client or customer, parents and student, they understand. Our students in homestay family, they need to do house choir with the homestay family because the student will be treated as a family member. So just imagine when you are home, you help your parents or you do the housework with your parents or your own home. That's normal. So here in our homestay, doing the housework is not like, oh, you're doing the whole laundry for the whole family, for the person you don't know, the host family. No, so that means when you finish the dish, when you finish the meal, you take your plates into the sink or put it in the dishwasher. In Australia, probably every single family will have a dishwasher. Most of the family, not all, will have dishwasher. So you just clean up your own dish or just put it in dishwasher. Is doing the housework already, or sometimes help out, just put your rubbish into the bin, those kind of simple things. It's not just ask you, oh, do the whole house, vacuum and do everything. No. So you have to maintain your room, your own room, and clean and tidy and make your bed. That's the houseworks the student need to do in our homestay family. So make sure pass this information to the student who would like to request homestay, because probably the expectation will be different because they think, oh, the student living into the homestay, then the homestay family will do everything for the student like their parents. No, so the student will be more independent here. Live in the homestay, treat it as a family. So live with the family together. So taking care of yourself. If you have any issue, go to international student department, talk to the student coordinator or homestay coordinator. We have some student came over and just say, my homestay family only give me cold sandwich. So I don't like the food. Talk to the homestay coordinator. What can they make you feel comfortable? Maybe meet in the middle. Or sometimes you prefer hot food, like Asian, we have hot soup or hot dish. You can have negotiate and talk to the family, and they can pass the information. They can do that for you. So everything can be communicated. And we have 100Q study, so which is the hotline before 9 o'clock, after 3 o'clock afternoon. If students have any difficulty or anything happen to them, they can call this number. So every student before they came to commence the course, we do provide this number to them when they came to Australia, arrive here. For example, airport pickup. So if they panic like, oh, I don't have someone to pick up, I didn't receive any information, please call this number, or the airport desk, information desk, they can just borrow the phone and you can call this number. But normally before you arrive, we will have arrival form so you can fill out, and we will know when is your arrival time. So school will send someone to pick you up, or homestay family will meet you at the airport. And those are pre-enrollment information. So this is our enrollment agreement after you receive this, which is the offer. So as you can see, the student information here, and also you will see the right up corner is a version here, issue date and version. Just a courtesy reminder. So after version 2, so the first version will be we issue this first offer to you, and after that one is from you or the parents or student to request any change after version 2. So after first version, we send to you, this is the offer, this is the score, this is the start date. And you say, oh, maybe I want to change the course start date. Okay, change from term 1 to term 2. Okay, we change for you. We go to school to see if from term 2 they can still accept this student. They have space for this student. That's totally fine. We change to the version 2. Then after version 2, then you come back to us. The request is from you or the parents. Oh, you know what? I'll change to term 3. So that version will be version 2, change to version 3. Then we need to charge the admin fee. So admin fee so far will be 756 per time after version 2. So make sure the parents know this and make up the mind to do any changes. If you change altogether on the version 2, that's totally fine. After version 2, version 3, we start to charge admin fee. So the condition will including, make sure you read the condition, the student read the condition. The condition will probably including OSHC and also provide another semester of the school report, or you need to finish high school preparation, reach certain English level, then meet the entry requirement, then go to mainstream. And this is our offer. All the signature on our application and also enrollment agreement need to be handwriting style. It's not typing. Must be handwriting style of the signature, and also must be dated. So student signature, dated, and also parent signature and dated. Remember, for the application form, if you do put both parents' information, father, mother, or legal guardian, legal custodian, for both, you need both signature. So here as well, you cannot just say, oh, on the application form, I put mother information, father information, and the last page signature only mother side. It's not complete application. So you must have both application be signed by both parents. We have agent come back to say, if the family is single parent, it's totally okay. So on the application form, if that's single parent, just put the student's legal guardian on the application form. For example, just mother or just father. Then leave another one blank. So on the last page of signature, you only need one parent to sign. And this enrollment agreement, only one person to sign. It's totally okay. And this is our tax invoice and due date. So on the first part will be tuition fee and non-tuition fee. So for Indonesia's market, like Margaretha just mentioned, the most of the student request for homestay. So you receive the invoice is like this. And OSHC, if you request EQI to process, so it will including OSHC here. Normally, the tuition fee will including 2 terms, which is 1 semester. If the students start for term 2, so term 2 is still including in semester 1, so that will only be charged for 1 term of tuition fee. But after that one will be charged for 2 terms, which is 1 semester. And the due date will be on it, so be careful of the due date you need to pay. Sometimes we know something happened, so if you request, the parents request couple days extension, please email us beforehand, before the due date. And this is our COE, and right hand side is our call letter. If the student requests for homestay, we will put on, the first one will be COE number, so please check when you receive the call letter and COE. So how many COE, the COE code here will be 1 COE. If the student only have 1 COE for junior high, then this COE code will only have 1. But if the student is having junior high and senior high COE, so this will be list both of them. So the course was list here as well, and welfare day from start day and end day. So we will list here the whole time. So arrival form, so be careful, the flight will need to be arrived in Australia, Brisbane, or in Australia between 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's our airport pickup time. So if you out of this time, you need to pay extra, or you need to arrange your airport pickup with the school for extra cost by your family, by the student's family. So we can do Gold Coast or Sunshine Coast and Brisbane as well. So if the students study in regional area, so they might arrive international here and go to domestic to transit to another location. So the school, the mainstream school will wait for you from the destination airport to pick you up. So in between, you'll need to know what's the transit time. So you need to provide all the information to us. Best of the solution is provide the itinerary, because sometimes the time zone is different. So sometimes the agent put the different time zone and we cannot find the student. So during that time, if the student cannot find us or passing the pickup time, they can call 1-800-Q-Study for the emergency call. So that's about today's section. So any questions we can raise. So yeah. Sorry, it's a little bit extra time.
No, it's okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you, Miss Amy. So for everyone, if you have any kind of question or inquiry, you can put it in the Q&A chat box. If you are confused with the English, you are okay to type it in Indonesia and I will help to translate it to Miss Amy. Okay, maybe while waiting for the question, I have some inquiry the guardians. You mentioned before that the sibling, the sister or brother, can be the guardian as long as they are 21 years old above.
Yes.
If the student is like the siblings is in Australia using student visa, is it still allowed or must they change the visa to student guardian?
Yes, so if the elder sibling, for example, he's 22 and he study here, university, or he's going to have the work visa or anything, once he or she is 21 years old, then you need to provide the relationship statement, like birth certificate states that this person is the actual biological sibling of this student, and he would like to be a guardian. So then, if the sibling holding other visa, you need to provide the visa grant letter as well. Why? Because we need to know how long is the sibling is holding that visa for. We cannot just issue, say, if the elder sibling, the visa time is only 2 years, but I give you 5 years enrollment. That means who is going to be the guardian for the student for extra 3 years? So that will cause problem. And immigration also will come back to questioning the student doesn't have welfare after 2 years, after the elder siblings finish their visa. So normally we will get the information from you, from the students. So the elder sibling will have another 3 years. Then we can give you high school 3 years enrollment. So remember, the homestay request only for high school students. It's not for primary students as well. So all the primary students need to be guardian, need to be reside with the parents or legal custodian. We have agent asking this because the parents doesn't want to come. They need to work at their home country, but their elder children, their elder kids is stay in Australia to work or to study in university. But that is not the case. So if the student study primary program, they must be guardian by parents. From high school, year 7, if the parents cannot come, but the elder kids study here in university, they can be guardian if once the elder one is 21 years old and have valid visa here. And we will need to know how long is the visa the elder kids is holding.
Okay, noted. But what if the case is when the younger sibling who wants to study in the high school and the elder siblings only have like 1 year's left for the student visa, but the elder siblings plans to apply for temporary visa for 8 the postgraduate. Is it also allowed, or the visa for the younger sibling will be like only 1 year and then renew again after the older sibling got the 485 visa granted?
So that one will be tricky because if you say the elder one is only have 1 year left, because then we don't know if the elder one is going to get 485 or not, because everything can happen. It like migration strategy is changing, or the immigration sometimes just announce a new policy. Then we will say in this case, I will say just apply for homestay to make sure the student will have the welfare first. Then if the elder sibling is going to apply and also get the visa granted after 485, after the student visa and granted 485, they can request, say, the student would like to withdraw from our homestay program and change the guardianship to the elder sibling and must be 21 years old. But we will need to see how long is the visa. So the main purpose is we make sure our under 18 international students to have the proper welfare and they are in a safe environment and safe place to stay. It's not like make uncertain for them. It will affect for the study. So students' welfare is very important as well.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
we have a question from our audience. from OSS Bali team.
Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. I have question
Yeah.
for accompanying parents. Can
Yeah.
they work part-time during their stay in Australia?
Okay, so the scenario is the student, him or herself, apply for student visa, right? And then the parents come here as a guardian visa, 590. So you can check out immigration's website. So as a guardian visa holder, they cannot work at all. Doesn't matter, it's part-time or full-time or just 1 or 2 hours a week or day. They are not allowed to work. And just let you know, some country, some region did receive the phone call from immigration to do phone interview when you're applying for student visa. So this question is a very important question to mention to the parents as well. So that means you know what kind of visa you're applying for if the parents is coming as a guardian visa holder. So they cannot request to work or just say they want to work. That also means the student or the family doesn't have efficient or enough fund to support themselves to come to Australia. So
Okay.
yeah, so that will affect the process when you're doing the visa processing from immigration, because we have couple agent from other country that they have this kind of feedback. The parents is asking, oh, when my kids go to school, I have nothing to do. Can I go to work? Or, oh, I'm going to work because I have nothing to do. But actually, that's a no. That's a definitely no as an answer. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Mm.
But what if the
Mm.
parents, it's like holding the 485 visa?
Then
No.
then the student won't apply to us.
Okay.
I mean, depends on the parents, because like you mentioned, if the parents is holding 485, so when they lodge the application, they definitely put the kids under their application. Is that correct? It's a normal process, normal scenario. Unless today the parents applying for 485 and the kids separate applying for the kids own 500 visa, but that doesn't make any sense, because you are as a family, why you separate two visa unless you have proper compelling and compassionate reason to explain why your kids is not under your visa processing. So that will be tricky and not make sense. But if in that case the parents is under 485, the kids is under 485, so that's another program. It won't be the international student program. So 485, I can tell you now, if the parents and student are holding 485 visa, the student, which is the kid, can enroll any public school. They have to go to school. The parents will need to take the student, go to school to ask the student, ask the school whether if they can enroll with them or not. So they won't go through EQI. Yeah.
Okay.
So they don't need to. They don't need to come to us. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. And also,
Yeah.
there's another question. Do you have scholarship for the government school?
Yes, but at the moment we don't have much, but I can go to check this and I can provide the information to you later. So I did have other agent asking about this one as well yesterday. So I can go to have a check to see whether we have other new one coming, or but as far as I know, most of the student will come and to go to study. Then the school have their own, so they can apply from the school. But this one, I'll check if EQI have currently have different one, so I can see if that meet to your requirement to the student in Indonesia as well. So I can provide that to you later. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Usually for the scholarship, is it a separate application or will be automatically assessed when they apply?
No, so that will be put through the application to it. So they will request, and we will need to gathering all the information and supporting document to see if these students meet our entry requirement to have to apply for this scholarship or not. Yep.
Okay, so they will need to like do the separate application regarding the scholarship.
Yes. So that will probably just 1 or 2 pages of the document. So I will go to check that one because I know we have one with our EPP school. So just for your reference, but it's still ongoing to the end of this year. But that means you need to consult with them as well. So that one is with UIL. So if the student is packaged with their high school preparation course and also our mainstream, so they have different campus. Oh, by the way, they're going to open a new campus in Cairns, and the class will be in Cairns State High School. So now we'll probably start October or next year, then start to recruit students studying there. So UIL have one program is study with their HSP course and finish and successfully go to mainstream with our high school program. So I think you can check with them as well, and other scholarship I will provide to you. So they are also our EPP school and also work very closely with Yes Education as well. Yep.
Okay, noted.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Miss Amy. Is
No
there any other
worries.
question? If we don't have any other question, we can close our session today.
Mm.
Since it's already almost 1.5
Sorry.
hours.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
Since it's very comprehensive
Don't worry.
information that
Yeah.
you share with us. So maybe that's why not many questions for
It's
now.
all
They
right.
will
Yep.
up later after they have the
Yep.
cases usually.
Sure.
So if you have any more question, we can close the session.
Mm.
But if later after the session you have any
Uh,
inquiry, just contact
there's
Yes
a
Education team.
there's
Oh,
one. Yeah. And by
okay.
the way, I will give you some link about our program or where to find the material, some link on our website. So like school list or school handbook or our program and fees that the parents are caring about, and also other program and homestay, how to access to our marketing material. I will provide to Margaretha later, and you can share. Mm.
Okay. Okay.
So that's a
If you have any
question.
question, please kindly type the question. We will wait. Okay. This
Okay.
Queensland University can provide offer letter pending for the student who wants to ask. I think it's out of this context, right?
Yeah,
So
university is not to us. So university, you need to
yeah,
contact with them. Yeah, yes. Is
maybe
that answer?
maybe Mas Farid can attend with this one. Maybe it's with Mas Farid. Can you tell us from which agent you are and the student name? Already applied or not yet? Ya, ini untuk yang pertanyaannya Queensland. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Mm,
He or she will
mm.
contact Farid regarding this.
Oh, good. No worries.
Okay. Okay,
Yep.
thank you, Miss Amy, for your
No
time.
worries. Thank you so
If you
much.
have any other inquiry, we
Yep.
will send it to you,
Yep.
and
Yep.
we will get back to the audience, our agent partners here. After this, we will also share the recording with our
Yep.
agent partner, so you
Mm,
can review it again. If you
mm,
have any question afterwards, please
mm.
don't hesitate to contact Yes Education Indonesia
Yes.
team.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you so
thank you,
much. Thank
thank you
you. Have a
for
good
this.
afternoon.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.